Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 35th anniversary of Pride here in Edmonton.
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride indeed. It's been 35 years. 1980 was the first year that we had a Pride celebration here, and things are very different since those early days.
Things have changed a lot since 1980, absolutely. I've changed a lot since then. But I do remember being at some of those early Pride parades back in 1982 or 3.
You're still dashing. This is Darren Hagen. He's the Edmonton Queen. I'm Alexa McLean, but we have to look back here at some of these early photos of you doing what you did best. This is you in drag.
Back in the old days, well, yeah, I mean the old days. The last time I did drag was last summer, so it's not really that long ago. But yeah, some of these pictures are from my early drag career when I was starting to write plays and create Guys in Disguise.
Guys in Disguise. Now, this is just a wonderful theater celebration that you've always been a part of, and now we're getting ready for the parade to start.
Yep, and we got to throw to our street reporters.
We have Vanity Fair on location with Dana Giesbrecht.
Thanks, guys. So yeah, woo, 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 woo. The crowd is beginning to get pumped up. You can hear the wave of noise as the parade comes around the corner, and you wouldn't believe how many people it takes to put on this parade every year. As we all know, Whyte Ave, it's here once again, the 25th anniversary of it being on Whyte, 35 years overall in the city. There's so much to talk about and so many people to talk to on the street today. But right now, we're gonna head over to my beautiful, glamorous co-host, Vanity Fair.
Hello, Edmonton. It's so great to be back at Pride here. Feeling a little sentimental and emotional. My very first Pride parade was here on Whyte Avenue, so feeling a little emotional. The parade's creeping up behind me here, so we're going to bring you all the excitement from street level here. Are you guys ready for a good time out there? All right.
The streets are lined with people coming out to celebrate here today, and I'm not surprised. Edmonton is just so supportive of the Pride community, and especially on Parade Day, you can see that everywhere you look.
Oh, and look, who do we have on camera right now? Is that Michael Fair?
It must be Michael Fair. He's the parade marshal this year, the color guard himself, looking fantastic in pink.
Michael Fair was the first openly gay city councillor in Edmonton, in Alberta, actually.
In Alberta, yes. He's also helping to organize the Queer History Project that you can check out at the Alberta Art Gallery of
part
Alberta.
of the Pride events. Absolutely. Oh, things are happening so fast here. I'm watching stuff going on camera. There's Michael Fair again.
Edmonton's newly elected Premier, Ms. Rachel Notley. How are you today, Rachel?
I'm fabulous. I'm absolutely not as fabulous as you.
Well, girl, that's hard to do. You got your bright colors on and you're ready to go. Are you looking forward to a good day?
It's going to be a wonderful day. I love Pride. It's my favorite day.
On behalf of Edmontonians, it's great to have you here. Thank you. Thank you.
Always nice to hear from
the new Premier of Alberta.
And check out that orange crush.
Wow,
Rachel Notley
nice
giving her
wave.
Praise and thanks to everyone coming out today.
Now, of course, with the orange wave, we also got our very first elected queer, lesbian and gay MLAs, which is the first time in Alberta history, which is very exciting too.
Exactly. The NDP is nothing but supportive when it comes to supporting the sexual and gender minority community.
Oh, and there's NDP Member of Parliament Linda Duncan as well.
You gotta love it, eh? They just all come out, they get their tribe behind them, and they just kickstart this parade with lots of joy heard from the streets. You can hear it now, the cheers coming through for Rachel Notley. I think it's safe to say that people love to see her out here today.
This is only the second time that a sitting premier has actually attended has actually ridden in the parade. Last year, of course, it was interim Premier Dave Hancock. This year, it's Rachel Notley.
Taking the reins with the orange crush.
Those crowd shots are amazing. Now, of course, you're seeing a beautiful diversity here when you look at the crowd, because you're seeing families, you're seeing men, women, children,
dogs, animal lovers.
People do love to bring
we can't leave the pets at home on the parade day. They are just out and about, and here you can just see the crowds on the streets. They're just swarming and getting so close to the action on Whyte Avenue.
Well, we certainly have the orange represented in the rainbow today, that's for sure.
I can't even count all those Rachel Notley flags that are waving high here.
Amazing.
And coming behind, you can see the big tank. That's the Canadian military. This is their first year participating in the Edmonton Pride Parade.
That's right. Canadian Forces, the Armed Forces of Her Majesty, raised by Canada, consist of one service called the Canadian Armed Forces. I've ridden in one of these tanks.
Oh,
it's terrifying.
What a way to go down the Whyte Avenue in a tank.
Amazing.
We can't forget the pooch here. He's got to get in there as well.
And of course, it was only 2 years ago that there was the first flag pride flag raised on Canadian Forces Base, which was a pivotal moment here.
That's right. It was
Alberta.
spearheaded by Master Warrant Officer John McDougall.
That's right.
He's a company sergeant, a major in the field medical unit with the military, the Canadian Forces, and they raised the flag in support of Pride Week.
Brilliant. Now, there's been a lot of firsts happening in the last little while, in the last few years.
Oh, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, the support, and it's so nice to know that this is just the beginning. Now that I'm sure they joined, they're going to want to continue that trend every year as the parades continue.
Beautiful, look at that. That's amazing.
What?
That's the first time I've ever seen that in the Pride Parade here in Edmonton. Look at that.
The presence is being felt by the Canadian Forces here, and of course there's the big rainbow flag to fly high outside of their tank.
Whyte Avenue has definitely taken on a party atmosphere. Listen to the crowd.
It's so nice to see the parade come back to Whyte Avenue because, of course, this is in 1980 where it first began, and
back
then it shuffled
was a much
around.
different parade. The parade back then was less about inclusion and diversity. It was more about a protest demanding equal rights.
Absolutely, and of course, 35 years ago, it looked much differently. And we're going to go now. We're going to hear from Dana.
Thanks, guys. So I am here with Captain Matthew Hood. It's the first year that the Canadian military has joined the Edmonton Pride Parade. What does that mean?
This means for me a personal accomplishment. I'm so proud to be working for an organization that values me for how I work, not for who I love. And we've had so much support from our chain of command. We have 3 great big Army vehicles in the parade.
All right.
And we're all incredibly proud. We have straight allies, supporters, all sexual orientations here at the parade. And this is a momentous day for us here in Edmonton, but the Canadian Forces has been in Pride parades since 2006 across the country. So we're making Edmontonian history today.
Thank God it's finally in Edmonton, and thank you so much for speaking with us today. Happy Pride.
Yes, happy
Matthew.
Pride.
Happy Pride indeed, and that support is so very welcomed here.
That is
the
an
Canadian Forces, what a
enthusiastic
better
audience.
support to see from the community of the military that fights and serves to protect us.
That's beautiful. And next we have the RCMP. Now, this is their first year in the parade. The RCMP provides law enforcement, of course, at a federal level in Canada, and also on a contract basis to the 3 territories. Now, an interesting factoid is that last year was the very first time that an openly lesbian woman was appointed to lead the police force for the province of Alberta. Assistant Commissioner Marianne Ryan assumed command after handover responsibilities.
I know Marianne, she's a lovely lady, and it's so refreshing to know that these firsts are continuing to happen here. And it's so great to see the RCMP out here to support.
And we have the more of the boys in red.
You can't get enough of the boys in red.
So we've had the orange, we've had the red.
We continue down the rainbow spectrum here.
Now we have the GLBT Pinoy and Friends. This is their 4th year in the parade, and they represent the Filipino community.
Oh, the Filipino community love the Edmonton Pride Parade.
This
they
is
were
their
here
chance.
last year.
That's right. They had
again.
the mermaid float last year.
Exactly, and they're always pleased with their outlandish.
Wow!
Check this
Look
out.
at that.
The Queens of the Orient are out in full bloom.
Wow, that's an amazing parade float. Look at that. They worked very hard on that.
They put a lot of effort into this. It looks like some sort of magical fairy garden. I would see it, I would guess.
The GLBT Pinoy and Friends are about showcasing the Filipino culture. It's their 4th year, and they love showcasing their rich culture and heritage. They've been putting on drag shows to help charities for AIDS, Camp Firefly, and to support the ISCWR.
So a huge support for the LGBTQ community, and who doesn't love a little drag when it comes to being entertained and, of course, giving back?
Exactly.
This is the biggest sponsor of the parade.
This is one of the presenting partners of the parade. This is their 5th year in Edmonton Pride Festival. And of course, TD Bank needs no introduction, TD Financial, and they are actually one of the companies that's at the forefront of diversity. They've actually got mandated inclusion policies and do their very best to make sure that every employee and every customer of their organization actually feels welcome and included at all times.
And there's no better example of just how far the parade has come in the festival over the years than to see a huge title sponsor like TD participate in the
Amazing.
parade.
Well, and it shows you how far things have come. I remember 35 years ago when people were afraid to actually show their faces in the parade, and now you've got giant companies that are determined to show how inclusive they are and to put their diversity foot forward. It's an exciting moment.
Exactly. It's hard to believe just how far we've come when people used to march in the parade and wear paper bags, and now everyone just wants to be seen.
Yeah, nobody's afraid of, nobody's hiding their face today, that's for sure.
They're
Little kids trying to keep up is very funny.
I think this is Denton's, if I'm not mistaken. Oh. We've moved on to a new float. They just keep coming in droves,
Oh, and Denton's is another sponsor. This is our second or third year in the parade, and they're a global firm driven to provide you with a competitive edge in an increasingly complex and interconnected marketplace.
They play an active role in the community, whether it's providing pro bono work, or just sitting on boards. They're always a part of charitable fundraising activities. We have, I believe this is the Old Strathcona Business Association.
Let's see what the cape says.
And they look like they're dressed up for Halloween. We got like a Frankenstein, Frankenstein-esque
superheroes.
gentleman.
We got some superheroes. We got a little Batman going on.
And you gotta love the Canada rainbow
This is another
flags.
one of our sponsors, the Old Strathcona Business Association. This is one of the associations that's responsible for the success of Strathcona and Whyte Avenue. This, however, is their first year in the parade. They strive to enhance, promote, and protect the businesses of the Old Strathcona community.
And they're out. It's their neighborhood that the parade is in this year, so it's great to have them. They have a massive. It looks like they're ready for the pool with this thing.
That's a big. I want to float on that float in the City Hall reflecting pool in my mermaid tail.
Ride the
that
Pride
would be like,
Parade wave.
That would be the ultimate.
This is a beautiful shot to show just how large their float is.
Wow, that's amazing.
That takes a lot of blowing up, I would say. You'd have to have a whole team to get that up to full speed.
I would hope that they had machines for that.
We're going to hear soon from Mayor Don Iveson. I'm sure he's in the parade there. Last year he was on his bicycle with his adorable family.
That's right, just riding along.
Who doesn't love Don Iveson? I mean, he's always out and about and definitely a huge support for the LGBTQ community.
Oh.
Hi guys, I'm here with Mayor Don Iveson. How are you today, sir?
I am fantastic and ever so proud of this magnificent city.
Now we've taken Pride from downtown and moved it to Old Strathcona. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think actually the scale of it's wonderful. Obviously, people found it. The weather's cooperated. You couldn't ask for a better parade.
So true. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Back to you guys.
Excellent. Oh, now look at this beautiful float. All you need is love. And
Amen.
Not sure who that is yet.
The floats are just so impressive. I mean, the effort that goes into
And they're coming at us in a random order. We can't always...
This is the Heart Float. And they've put a ton of work into their massive rainbow that they've constructed on top
Absolutely
of
beautiful.
the mobile float that they have here in the parade. So this is Heart is an animal rescue team, and they're a huge advocate for getting people out to support, obviously, the animals that need a home. And they, in turn, are supporting the community by participating in the parade here today.
Look at all the dogs. That's beautiful.
The Humane Animal Rescue Team, so they're just trotting about with their pooches in tow. And of course, the 35 years flags are out and about everywhere.
I'm looking at the massive crowd this year, and I'm really kind of blown away by those long shots where you can see how many people are actually here.
It's just gorgeous to see everyone out and in full bloom. I think
this is Adara Hair and Body Studio. They've been in the parade on and off for the last 2 to 5 years, and
they're listed as a gay-friendly business directory in Edmonton. So they really want people to know that they can come on into a safe place and get a little primping done at their studios.
Never hurts to get some primping
and
done,
maybe
especially
check
if you
out
can end
some
up
of these
looking
boys
like
that they have on top of the float. I mean, they look like they're having a good time.
Well, and it looks like they know how to soap down too, which is nice.
You got to beat the heat somehow, right? Standing proud. Adara Hair and Body Studio. Look at them. I guess that, why not get your car washed if you're going to be in the parade? You might as well get the hose down.
Absolutely. Well, I got to say, I'm going to look at washing my car in a whole new light from now on.
Now this is impressive. I mean, there's a Pride weaved balloon
That's really nice,
going
actually.
on here.
Look at that. How do they do that?
I am very impressed.
I think you and I need to take like a balloon sculpting class.
I would have all these popped in a matter of minutes, I'm sure. Maybe at the end they'll do a big Pride burst.
You're one of those people that you can't give bubble wrap to, right?
No. I would get very carried away. Everyone
There's another
just
beautiful
taking it all
example
in.
of the kids at the festival today.
Here we
And
have
Capital Vision Care.
Capital Vision Care.
They are another sponsor of the parade. Capital Vision Care has been providing the Edmonton area with eye care services for over 40 years. Their staff and optometrists in 5 locations dedicated to delivering the highest standard of care with the most comprehensive eye exams using the latest in diagnostic technologies.
And they have LGBTQ community positions, people working in these positions at all levels of their companies. So a very friendly company to be a part of.
Yeah, it says they have zero tolerance towards any form of harassment in the workplace. That's always nice to hear. Now, who have we got here?
A little frog action here.
Fribbit.
I think it's the Edmonton Ambassadors Performers Association. Looks like they've got the frog power going here. I mean, just grab a convertible and chuck someone on top and away you go. It seems to be the thing that works here.
This is the Edmonton Ambassadors Performers Association. This is their 2nd year in the parade, and their purpose is to show and support pride to Edmonton's LGBTQ community as a non-profit performing arts group.
Who doesn't love performing arts, especially when they're out in full bloom? They have a synchronized flag dance routine going on here.
Excellent.
I'm sure they've been practicing endlessly, preparing for their big debut here
well,
today.
And I know from experience, learning those kind of moves is not easy, especially in this heat.
No, you wouldn't want to get tangled up in those flags.
Absolutely not.
Just dancing their way down Whyte Avenue.
Well done. Look at that. That's a beautiful sight.
And of course, these overview shots, you can see just how packed the streets are with people out here to support the Pride Parade.
And that's just a slight chunk of what we're seeing here from the street level. It's kind of amazing how many people are out today.
It's just flooding everywhere you see. This is kind of the main drag, would you say, in Edmonton. It's Whyte Avenue is the place to be, so it's nice to see it come back. 35 years of Pride here. We're going to actually hear now from the parade marshal. This is Mickey Wilson.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Mickey Wilson, the Executive Director of the Edmonton Pride Center. Oh, it's distracting. It's hard to keep my focus. Let's talk about the incredible diversity at Pride this year.
Oh, it's great. There is just everything here from, even in our own entry, we have young youth, we have families, we have kids, we have people of color, we have refugees and Indigenous people. It's just really exciting.
The first year again for the Canadian military to be in the Edmonton Pride Parade is huge. We were speaking with one representative who said for him personally, this is just a monumental year.
It is. It's a great year. This is back to where we came from, and yet we are so much more. Lots of ways to go yet, but we are so much more.
Mickey, thank you so much for your time. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Dana.
And of course, we heard from Mickey in the pre-parade show that we had, and Mickey Wilson, of course, the executive director of the Pride Center here in Edmonton. I think there's some stilts involved here, judging by the height that this lad has.
When you're in a crowd this big, you want to get up tall.
Oh, you got to see it all.
That's actually the best view.
There's nothing better than height for that.
I rode in the Toronto Gay Pride Parade back in 1991, and I got to say, being on one of the floats up high is the absolute best way to see a parade, because then the show becomes all of the crowd.
Nothing
and you get
like
to meet
that
all
sky-high view. Whoa, and
we have a rainbow
higher
bus coming
than
up.
a bus, it seems, is this guy. He's just dancing his way backwards. That's pretty impressive that he's doing all this on stilts.
And in the wind.
And in the wind, yeah. Let's hope the wind stays down for him while he's going down Whyte Avenue. We're actually going to hear from someone that's near and dear to you. This is Lori Blakeman.
My hero. My hero, absolutely.
Hi guys, I'm here with one of my favorite people on the whole planet, Miss Lori Blakeman. Now we've left your fabulous constituency for Pride, but I'd say this is still a pretty fabulous celebration, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, the parade is miles long and people are like 6 deep. It's so much fun, everyone's so excited, and you get to have the best drag queen in Edmonton, in my opinion, in the world, as your host.
Now, you and I are besties. We've had a little chat on Facebook, a little pep talk. Are you ready for all the love and affection that you're going to receive today?
No, I'm not, but I'm hoping for it.
It's well deserved, my dear. Enjoy the rest of the parade.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Have a great day. Back to you guys.
First of all, I can't believe that Lori Blakeman called Vanity Fair her favorite drag queen in the world. That means I'm going to have to leg wrestle Lori
You
Blakeman
might have
for
to come
that
out of retirement here. I don't know, Darren.
Just to get my title back.
You have to admit, though, Vanity is she's always glamorous. And here is Camp Firefly.
Oh, Camp Firefly. No, of course, Camp Firefly is a youth camp that's held every year, started by Christopher Wells with the Institute of Sexual Minorities at the University University of Alberta. And of course, their mission is to actually create a safe space for queer youth, LGBTQ youth. And every year they actually have campouts where the kids spend a weekend learning how to build their own self-esteem. It's a very exciting thing, and it's absolutely new in Canada.
Very important for young teenagers in the community. Okay, now we have an exciting guest with Dana. This is Ben Scrivens with the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, guys, I'm here with Edmonton Oiler Ben Scrivens. Did Andrew Ference get the day off today? Or?
Yeah, I think he's with his family in France right now. So
good to see you here. So what brings you to Pride today?
Well, I mean, so many people here in the community, gay, straight, trans, it doesn't matter. They support us on the ice. So it's our opportunity to support them right back. It's a great day and a lot of fun.
Awesome. We appreciate having you here. And Ben was just saying how hot it is. It is. I feel like I'm wearing hockey equipment in this heat, so I understand how he feels during a game. Back to you guys.
Thanks.
That's the first time I've ever heard a drag queen talk about her padding as if it felt like hockey equipment. That is so good. Vanity, okay, you are the best.
Any way to relate, Vanity. I hear you, sister. If you got the padding, you better work it, girl.
Exactly. Now, we just missed seeing the University of Alberta multi-group. We had the Institute of Sexual Minority Studies and Services, the Outreach, which is from the U of A, and of course the University of Alberta Students' Union. All very important organizations that are helping to raise the bar and make diversity and inclusion an absolute necessity.
You got to love that support at the university level here, to have all the students embrace diversity and come out to support one another.
And here, of course, we have the U of A ambassadors.
Yes, he carries on lots of U of A support. Dancing about, that's kind of the thing to do. If you're not in a flow, just keep on dancing.
Always. Now, Tessa.
Here comes Tessa, the trans-friendly society, Trans Equality Society.
You're good. You're good, because I couldn't see that before you did.
Here they come.
And of course, PFLAG, the Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays Canada. That's of course a national organization that helps parents and families of newly out people. And then behind them we have the City of Edmonton Youth Council, which was, of course, instrumental this year in actually passing a resolution that
the GSAs in schools, which was a huge issue, and it's so refreshing to know that got through.
Now, Team Edmonton. Team Edmonton, this is the organization that has actually been providing support for gay, lesbian people that are into sports and organizing places for them to be able to compete, which is always awesome.
Just fist pumping away. And of course, you can't have a parade without a little goodies. The goodies being thrown out to the crowds just as a thank you, of course.
Oh, they're actually giving balls away.
Love it.
Look at that. Now, of course, Team Edmonton is also responsible for putting together teams that will actually go to the World Gay Games when they happen.
Of course, we can't forget about the World Gay Games and all those athletes that participate in that.
And there we have Intuit, the float from Intuit.
Representing their tie-dye attire. And we're actually going to go back down to street level now with Dana.
I am here with Teresa Chung of Team Edmonton. How is your Pride going?
It's excellent. Thank you. It's a great turnout.
Tell me, what does Team Edmonton do here in the community?
Team Edmonton is a nonprofit organization that promotes inclusivity in sports and recreation for the LGBTQ community in Edmonton.
Wonderful. And what is the main message you hope to promote today?
Pardon?
What is the main message you hope to promote today?
That everyone can come on and play with us.
Wonderful. Teresa, thank you so much for your time, guys. Back to you.
And now here we have the Westwood Unitarian. This is their 10th year being involved in the Pride Parade. The purpose of Westwood Unitarian is to let people know that they are a welcoming, diverse, inclusive community, that there are welcoming religious communities out there, and they are one of them. They're always happy to participate in the Pride Parade.
10 years. They're veterans in the game, I would say.
Absolutely. And the Unitarian Church, of course, has been behind a lot of the forward moves when it comes to the community inclusion, especially with LGBT people that are in the religious community.
They also have the OWL. It's Our Whole Life Sexuality Education for all ages. So they're all about educating people and making them aware of how to support and be allies.
There we go. And there's the Unitarians for Social Justice. I believe some of the very first queer weddings that I played at when I was playing piano for gay weddings in the early days and commitment ceremonies was through the Unitarian Church.
Was at this church.
Yeah.
There they are, and there's so many participants. It's great to see that these organizations have so many people within them that come out to march in the parade, clowns included.
Oh, the Edmonton Raging Grannies are supporting the LGBTQ Pride.
This
Excellent.
might be one of my personal favorites. Who doesn't love a raging granny?
I am going to be a raging granny in a year now.
Yes, you're well on your way to that. In a few years, we'll see you leading the charge, I'm sure, Darren. The raging grannies.
I'm going to have like a rhinestone bejeweled walker, though, to make sure.
And that's just a demonstration of all the different ages that come out, whether they're the youngsters, the little toddlers, or, of course, the grannies, and they are raging.
Absolutely.
And, of course, we can't forget our furry companions.
Oh.
Oh, that guy is just having a time.
And there we have UFCW Local 401. They've been in the parade for the last 2 to 5 years. The Pride Parade is an important tradition and recognition of the queer community in all cities. UFCW and the labor movement have been part of society for a long time, and to be involved in this means that they are allies and support the LGBTQ community fully.
And how important are these allies, Darren, would you say?
Oh my God, you know, it's one thing to have a conversation about queer rights when you're queer, but if you're not having a conversation with the non-queer population, it's just a monologue. So the allies, that's why the A in GSA is so important, because it's a gay-straight alliance. You need the support and the nurturing of the rest of the community in order to be fully included in society with full equality.
You're right, the ally support is so important in increasing that exposure and awareness for people outside of the community. And that overview shot shows you just how packed they are. I think that was a mini dump truck. I'm not exactly sure, but hey, I like it. The Students Association of Norquest College, I believe, they're trotting by as well. Boyle Street.
Oh, the Boyle Street Community League, yeah.
This is Boyle Street Community League, and they're scattered about, but you can just see the people that are surrounding them. It's like a little mob out there of rainbows. And we have the Liberal leader of Canada, Justin Trudeau. You must be Star Trek. Isn't he just dashing?
And look, okay. She's now officially the most
Hi guys, believe it or not, I'm here with Justin Trudeau all the way from Ottawa. How are you?
Oh, just fabulous. A perfect day, perfect weekend, an extraordinary celebration.
So true. Welcome to Edmonton. How would you say Edmonton Pride compares to other cities in Canada?
You know what? It's not comparable. The community focus, the people out here, the amazing energy, it's just fabulous. But you know what? It's pretty fabulous all across the country, but I'm so glad to be here today.
It's true. Pride is fabulous everywhere, but we're very honored to have you here. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Let's hear some noise, you guys. Back to you guys.
Justin Trudeau in Edmonton marching in the Pride Parade.
I'm
what
a little starstruck. I'm a little starstruck, I have to admit. And he's wearing a pink shirt, which I think is just fantastic.
That's a great color for him, honestly. And people are embracing him with open arms. Of course, we have Ben Scrivens, we have Justin Trudeau. The gates are open for people, for celebs to come down here today.
And it's kind of interesting that this should be happening because, you know, at the beginning of Pride, there was no politicians, there was no mayor, there was no premier, and now we've actually got some really important people in the political scene from all across Canada that are involved in the...
And here comes his Liberal Party behind.
There we go, and of course, the Liberal Party, Justin Trudeau's father, of course, responsible for the decriminalization of homosexuality back in 1969. It's been a long road.
Movement.
That was the first beginnings of probably of gay and lesbian rights here in Canada.
And when you think about it, it's really not that long ago. I mean, there's been so much progress in that short period of time.
It's within my lifetime, and even though you keep saying how long my lifetime is, it's not actually that long.
I would never say that, my dear. I would never. But you're right. The progress is just absolutely insane. And here, of course, we have the lovely Rainbow Robots.
Oh, we love Shaw. And of course, now Shaw is, of course, the very first and only station to cover the Edmonton Pride. What is this? And they have, apparently they have a nice budget for tiny little cars, too. How many clowns can you fit in that car?
Yes, our Shaw TV team is very proud to present the Pride Parade. And of course, the Shaw Communications Company as a whole is out, and they have their, the robots there waving their rainbow flags high and proud.
Now, I got to ask, because I just don't actually know, how common is it for the Pride festivities to actually be broadcast the way Shaw is doing here in Edmonton? Is it unique in Canada?
To my knowledge, I have no idea. We might have to ask our Shaw Bear. He might have a better idea than I. But yeah, this is the second year, and we're so happy to be doing this because it's a ginormous celebration, and it really shows how far we've come.
We are, in fact, apparently Shaw is in fact the first in Western Canada to be broadcasting. So even before Vancouver, which is very exciting.
We got one on Vancouver.
We got lots on Vancouver, trust me.
You know what, Darren, you're right.
But I'm just so happy to be involved in this. Back in the old days when people were still hiding their identities, and now suddenly, like, here we are on television. The Alberta Union of Public Employees, ladies and gentlemen. And again, another sort of sign of how far things have come when the unions are getting on board and making sure that they put out their message of diversity there to support the community.
And I think a lot of the company message here is that they support their employees in-house as well. They want to make a safe place for people to work. And then, of course, today is just all about the celebration part of it.
Exactly.
That's a great shot,
going
down.
Look at that beautiful shot. Oh, what's going on here?
The old Strathcona district here. I have no idea. That looks like
a smile. There is no hell. I have no idea what that means.
Scary.
I had a wig that looked like that once.
Octopus creature. Yeah. You gotta love these very unique floats, and I'm actually wondering what this is.
You know what? It could be the.
Looks like Sebastian
I wonder if it's
the
Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster or something like that.
Okay,
I'm not quite sure what that means.
I can see the spaghetti with eyes. Why not? The stroller love. The rainbow flags, and if you want the rainbow flags, you can find them everywhere. I'm sure today they're all over the city. And this is the Edmonton Police Service.
Nice.
That's quite the vehicle to have. They might give the tank a run for their money, the military there. But this is the EPS. They're traveling down the route slowly but surely.
And of course, the Edmonton Police Service has been working a lot within the community so that they can actually create liaisons between the community and the police service.
Which is very important.
To better understand the needs of our community, absolutely.
Because
I just noticed there's a little pink boa around the red light. That's nice.
Gotta love the throwback, car there as well from the EPS. I'm really enjoying. That's a nice whip you got there. And we're actually going to hear from an EPS member right now.
Thanks, guys. I am here with the Deputy Chief with the Edmonton Police Services. This is Danielle Campbell. How's your photo? We're getting photobombed by a gentleman on a Segway at the moment. Who's that?
Deputy Chief Tony Harder.
You guys are having a blast out here today, aren't you?
Absolutely. This is a great event, and the Edmonton Police Service is very proud to support human rights. It's a big deal that we have law enforcement in pride parades around the world. When you go back to the civil rights movement of the gay community, Stonewall riots, we've evolved in law enforcement. We support all human rights. It's a great day. The weather gods are shining.
They are.
Yes.
Well, Danielle, thank you so much for stopping by and chatting with us, and happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Beautiful message there from our city's finest.
You gotta love hearing we support all human rights from the EPS. That makes, honestly, that puts some warmth in my heart. This looks like The Sound of Music or something of the sort.
There's no place like home. Well, there isn't. Homeward Trust.
Little Alice in Wonderland, or no, that would not be Alice in Wonderland. That would be the Dorothy.
That could be Alice.
Yeah, maybe. Little bouncing baby. Has no idea what's going on, but I'm sure she's enjoying herself.
Having the time of her life.
This is the Wizard of Oz. You gotta love the Wizard of Oz. You got the Scarecrow, and I think that was Dorothy. That was
Dorothy. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Dorothy.
Look at us blanking on the Wizard of Oz. That's so silly. That's Homeward Trust.
I take full responsibility for that blank.
And of course, there's no place like home.
Yeah, that's.
And of course, friends of Dorothy are all around them today, aren't they?
Absolutely. And now we have some. Oh, I love the low pooch shots. They're precious. The hair is done, and the pride flags are wrapped around.
Okay, this is making me laugh. I'm hearing in my headphones, who are these dogs? I don't know. We should ask them. Pets in the Park, thank you very much.
Let's see. Yeah, let's get a clip from the dogs, shall we? This is Pets in the Park. They're very low to the ground. They're taking it all in from ground level.
Excellent.
And you've got to, in case you're wondering, this is a representative of William Horlock Park and the Edmonton Humane Society. Who doesn't love the Edmonton Humane Society?
Absolutely. That's a fun float.
You got the real dogs and you got the human mascot dogs.
The
So
furry dogs.
I don't envy them in those suits today.
Oh my God.
The heat is coming down here. Pets in
Wow.
the Park.
I'm so glad I'm not in one of those mascot outfits.
Yeah, you would be cooking.
Oh, and they have a
I'm
beautiful
sure
Boston
Vanity's
Terrier
cooking as
on
well,
their
but she
banner.
makes it look good at least.
She does, doesn't she?
And we have an interview coming up. This is Carrie Tway. Let's go to her.
All right, guys, I'm here with the current reigning Miss Gay Edmonton, Carrie Tway. And you are the current reigning Miss Gay of the Imperial Sovereign Court of the Wild Rose, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about what the court does during Pride and during the year?
Well, the court itself is a nonprofit organization. We hold drag shows and different charity events to raise money to donate to our organizations or our charities for the year. We do everything from, well, Pride, we build great big floats, and we try and get involved as much as we can to make sure that everybody feels loved and appreciated.
It's important to note the court this year is celebrating their 40th anniversary raising money for local charities. Back to you guys.
Okay, thanks, Vanity. Of course, Vanity knows all about the court. This is the Imperial Sovereign Court of the Wild Rose. Their 39th year of organizing drag fundraisers and, of course, electing a reigning emperor and empress of Edmonton to
And
create...
what is the role of the Empress? Because now Vanity Fair is the Empress 37.
And the current reigning empress is Leia Wei, Empress 39.
Okay.
Next year will be their 40th anniversary. And the purpose of the empress is to represent Edmonton on the North American scale so that she can travel to other cities and be an ambassador for Edmonton and raise awareness about the community here and hopefully drag some of those people back to Edmonton when she steps down. So it's a beautiful network of drag societies all across the continent. So.
And the drag queens are everywhere. I mean, the entertainment value and the charity feedback that they give is just outstanding. And what would you say the drag community is like here in Edmonton?
Oh my God, it's a rich, vibrant community, absolutely. Even though I'm not part of it as much as I used to be.
You spearheaded it though at one point?
I was there in the beginning, but there was queens that made that road before I ever got involved. It's the thing that made me stay in Edmonton. I got to say, when I first moved up here, I saw my first drag show, and I immediately wanted to be a part of that world. Yeah, it just spoke to me, and I've never felt more like a part of a family than I did when I sort of witnessed the drag scene here in Edmonton.
You were embraced by the queens, my friends.
I was adopted by the queens, and then I was transformed into one. Here we have, of course, View Weekly. View Weekly, of course, the weekly arts magazine here in Edmonton, which has always been very supportive of all the queer culture that we have here in Edmonton, whether it be shows at the Fringe, Loud and Queer, Guys in Disguise, things like that.
Yes, if you want to know what's happening here in the city, just grab a copy of View Weekly and you will be informed.
It's like the Bible that helps you through. Now, the Edmonton baby wearers, I have no idea what that even means.
Edmonton baby
They are
wearers.
wearing babies, though. They are wearing babies.
Yeah, they got the babies, so they're doing their job with the wagons of babies. And their role is to educate and promote the advantages of baby wearing our children. And I honestly couldn't tell you what that
means. We are gobsmacked. For once, we are totally gobsmacked.
Just wrapping your baby up in some wares.
I think it's about keeping your child with you, whether you're going jogging or biking or out for an outing.
And as you can see with the young moms here, they're marching with their babies around their chests. So there you have it. The baby wearers. All right, and up next we have
the Royal Bank
Lion,
of Canada.
The financial lion that we all know. This is RBC, another big sponsor for the parade. Actually, no, they're not a sponsor, but they're the other mainstream banking company that you can see in the parade here today. It's RBC, Royal Bank of Canada. And diversity and inclusion is one of the most important values that this organization has. They support employees regardless of race, background, gender, and sexual preference.
Brilliant.
So, yeah. RBC.
Again, it shows you how much pride, how far pride has come when large organizations like that start to be involved in the show of diversity that we're involved in here today. All right, what have we got next here?
Lots of pride coming from RBC. This is coming up behind them quickly is Derek. Nate Pride, rather.
Nate Pride, of course, the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology in Northern Edmonton.
A wonderful campus full of lots of support at Nate's. They have just the more the merrier, it seems to be the theme for people participating in the walk here.
Absolutely.
As they march on down Whyte.
There was a time when the University of Alberta would have been the only institutional educational system involved. Now, of course, here we have Fringe Theatre Adventures.
Your
now,
favorite,
this
I'm
is,
sure.
Oh, my absolute favorite. My career is because of the Fringe Festival. And actually, Strathcona and Whyte Avenue are because of the Fringe Festival. Now, the Fringe Festival is absolutely a sponsor. Not only that, it was 1982 when Brian Paisley first got a grant to put on the first ever Fringe Festival, and it has completely transformed Strathcona and the art scene in Edmonton, and there's a whole generation of us that would have no careers if it weren't for the Fringe. I just can't say enough good things about the Fringe.
So thank you, Fringe. And
Absolutely.
the Fringe is an ongoing huge festival here in our lovely city every summer. And coming up, we have foster parents marching on here. And now, be a foster parent. That's a lovely message for people because there's many children who need a home, a forever home. Once again with the wagons, this one's stuffed with a little bit more flair, I would say.
And what have we here?
Got another church.
This is Larry Durkash from the McDougall United Church.
This is an interview with Dana.
Thank you very much. I am here with Larry, and you are with McDougall Church. Tell me a little bit about the church participating in Pride.
Well, we think it's really important that people come out and make the statement that churches are really preaching the message of love and acceptance. Too many people that are part of faith organizations, too many faith organizations really are teaching a message of hate and divisiveness. And we don't believe that that's what religion and God is all about. It's about inclusiveness and acceptance.
I think you're 100% right on that one, and it's so beautiful to see the whole city come together.
It's great, and it's every year it catches on a little bit more, which is I think it's a really important message for us to be part of.
Larry, thanks so much for your time.
And of course, here we have the Home Depot float.
All the ladies in the toolbox there.
Excellent. That's a neat toolbox,
just dancing out, yeah, ready to go.
Working, of course, Home Depot is. I actually have gay friends that work at Home Depot and are proud to say it.
I wonder if they're in the crowd here within that box. There's lots of people participating for the Home Depot float as they march on down Whyte Avenue.
And this is their very first time in the Edmonton Pride Parade this year.
I love all the new entries. Honestly, it makes me happy to know that the floats are just every year exploding. It's just
it's
longer
true.
and
people are working harder every year on creating a real visual display.
I'm sure the lineup to get in is just right away. As soon as it ends here today, the next float
you know what? You're
will come
probably
through.
right. You're probably right. It's getting harder and harder to actually be part of the parade because the spaces are evaporating so fast.
Wow, the St. Paul's United Church, they're in style here. Representing themselves with a lovely little St. Paul's United Church flag.
Now we have a lot of faith communities involved here today, don't we? It's kind of amazing when you see the diorama of faith communities that are actually determined to be part of the message of diversity here.
And that just goes to show the progress that's been made. I mean, over the years, what was the other church that we had where there was 10 years of them participating in the parade, and now we have another St. Paul's Church. So yes, you're right there, and it's lovely to see that support from the religious groups. We have another church. The churches are just back to back here, it seems. It's Self-Minister Sennheiser United Church. Another congregation coming together to represent diversity in the community. And the cheers continue to flood the streets.
Very, very happy
all the
crowd
support
tonight.
I'm really enjoying these Canada flag, rainbow flags.
Absolutely.
This is the day that the Lord has made. Well, there you go.
There we go.
Loud and clear is his message.
This is fuss hair, the art of hair.
Making people feel beautiful no matter what age, race, gender, or size. So there it is. They're all inclusive and they are having a time. Check this gal out. And the drag queens are everywhere.
There's a lot of multicolored wigs here today.
Yes. If you want to see color and entertainment, you'll see it here today at the 35th anniversary of the Edmonton Pride Parade.
Absolutely.
Wow, that truck, I wish you could just leave that truck dressed up like that year-round.
Oh, I mean, no, that's my ride home.
Is it? Yeah,
totally.
They're going to park and wait for you after this. Just chuck the rainbow and glitter on the truck and you're set. And the church parade continues. I think they should just be in their own mini
Holy
parade.
Spirit Lutheran Church, ladies and gentlemen.
Amen, indeed. Straight, not narrow. I like the signs. We are all loved by God. Now, there was a time, of course, when you would never see a church in a parade, I'm sure.
Well, I'm trying to remember when they actually started to be involved in the parade. It was the Metropolitan Community Church was almost always involved, but over the years, as the dogma falls apart and as the message gets out there, it's been something that a lot of churches are very determined to put their message forward and make sure that they know that everybody's welcome at their church.
And of course, gone are the day you can get married now. No matter what, churches embrace that marriage, and it just goes to show the progress that's been made over the past 35 years.
Hot 107, of course.
Bringing the dance party to the streets. Hot 107. It's, of course, a local radio station in the Edmonton.
And this is their first year in the parade this year?
Welcome Hot 107 as they make their new entry debut into the Pride Parade. You gotta love the music. It gets people going and gets them up off their feet. Wow.
Oh, those are fun costumes.
Yeah. There it is, love it. Winners, of course, is coming up. Winners gives a lot of flags out, and you can see them everywhere. Winners and HomeSense flags are all over the city.
Absolutely.
And of course, there they are.
I believe they did that last year too, didn't they?
Yes, if you're in search for a rainbow flag, you go find some winners, people, and they'll hook you up.
Of course, I just want to remind everybody about all the brilliant things that are happening for Pride this week. There's a whole whack of events that you will want to check out. One of the most important I want to draw your attention to is the Queer History Project, which is happening at the Art Gallery of Alberta, which is a beautiful showcase of some of the highlights of the queer history, the queer community as they struggle to build a community together. So you can always check that out at the Art Gallery for the entire duration of Pride.
That's a beautiful thing. The parade here in Edmonton just kickstarts the Pride Week in general. That's what I love about it. It's at the beginning of Pride Week.
In most cities, it's actually the end, isn't it? Like a big finish. Here, it's kind of the launch of the whole festivities. So it's a great awareness builder in terms of making sure that everybody knows what all the fun stuff that's coming up.
And just want to remind you that if you are looking for some Pride pictures, head to our Facebook page, Shaw TV Edmonton. We have a Pride album, and if you want to tag yourself, because there's going to be tons of pictures, head to Shaw TV Edmonton on Facebook. And of course, the Twitter craze is in full blast. We're at Shaw TV EDM.
Okay, if those letters weren't jiggling around, I could read what that says.
I saw a D and an E. I think the PRI is off somewhere on their own. They've rebelled and ran away.
I wonder if that was Jasper Pride.
You gotta love, I mean, Jasper Pride happens every year in the Rocky Mountains. It happens in March when there's still a little bit of a winter spirit all around. And
absolutely
it's
beautiful.
A really popular event, Jasper Pride in the Rocky Mountains. We got Woody here. Looks like a Pez popper on top.
That looks like the ATB, Alberta Treasury Branch.
This must be a little a taste of the Stampede. They must have got the wrong message here with the cowboy on top.
We have cowboys here too.
This is the Pride Parade. ATB Financial making their way down Whyte Avenue with I'm going to say that's Woody.
Well,
Woody riding
careful
the piggy
though,
bank.
There's a gay bar in Edmonton called Woody's. We don't want to get confused. ATB is actually one of the sponsors of the Pride events this year.
Another big sponsor for the Pride Parade. Lots of banks. ATB.
I'm kind of amazed at how many banks are involved this year.
RBC.
Oh, we have a big bunch of people coming up here. Oh, the Gay Straight Alliance.
Perfect. Gay
Of
Straight
course,
Alliance.
everybody, if they were watching the news in the last little while, they would have heard about the political debate about the Gay Straight Alliances in the high schools.
And actually, on that note, we're going to hear from Carrie McGuire from the Edmonton School Board with Vanity Fair.
All right, guys, I'm here with Carrie. She's a teacher with Edmonton Public Schools. Now, you had quite an entourage here with you today. How much work did it take to organize all these people?
You know what? There was so much interest that it wasn't a lot of work at all. We had over 140 people who wanted to participate, and students, staff, administrators. We have a couple of our trustees here as well.
And this is your second year back at the parade, or it's been a few years, I guess?
A few years. I've been organizing it for the last 2.
Awesome. So why is Pride so important to Edmonton Public Schools?
You know, we really strive to work towards inclusion in our schools, and that includes our sexual and gender minority students and staff and families. We've got policy in place. We've got over 40 schools with gay straight alliances, and lots of the students are here walking with us today. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's a big part of what we do, and we're really proud of that.
That's awesome to hear. We're so glad to have you here today. Thank you. Talk to you guys.
Thanks, Vanity. And of course, in the last 5 years, the Edmonton Public School Board has been involved in the parade for a few years.
They support over 20 different Edmonton Public School Board gay straight alliances. Now, if you're a teenager in high school and you need support, a GSA is vital to your health and safety. So very proud of the Edmonton Public School Board for their participation.
Now we have Glitter Bubbles. This is their first year in the parade.
Woohoo, glitter bubbles, I like it.
And
the title says it all, I'm sure.
It says, Festival, Fun Community, All-Inclusive. Fashion and dance are for everyone.
Fashion and dance, indeed. I wish I got a wig. You know, honestly, Darren, we should have showed up with wigs today because we would have fit right in with some of these floats. They're
that's too much like work. Whenever I wear a wig, I just feel like I'm on stage.
You would have had to go all out, right? You can't just stop at the wig. It needs to be the full meal deal.
Exactly.
And you can just, the music's pumping, the cheers are going. Everyone's just having a great time here on Whyte Avenue today for 35th anniversary Pride celebration. Last year there was over 30,000 spectators, and it's hard to believe when you think about the first parade in 1980, more of a protest, and there was only 7 people participating.
It was a small one, and I remember my first one. I don't remember the year that we did it, but I do remember that it was very small. There was one float and some people walking. And even, I have to say, my partner and I were there, and we walked alongside the float, and we actually didn't know if we were going to be safe or not.
When you think about that and go back down memory lane, what emotions do you feel when you can see where we are today?
It's kind of amazing because part of you is a little regretful that things could have been better back then, but the other part of you is so hopeful for what's in the future and what lies ahead, because ultimately this is just going to move forward. The world's just going to open up more to be more inclusive. So I feel really happy for all the people that come after us, because they're going to benefit.
The way.
Well, not me, us. All of us have paved the way for the people that are going to come after us.
And the party keeps going on here with 91.7, The Bounce, getting people excited for the Pride Week festivities.
In the past 5 years, they've
really
been involved with
this.
2 to 5. Oh, that's a fun.
That's a Rapunzel.
That's
a Rapunzel look, working her, girl.
Now, The Bounce hit the airwaves in 2005, and they were always been a strong advocate of diversity and acceptance. When they were approached to be the first radio sponsor of the Pride festivities, they jumped at the opportunity.
Look at this shot.
Wow.
All the people around and the pink shirts dancing up and down. Of course, the rainbow suspenders. I mean, that's just a winning look there on any day.
I've always been a big fan of wearing pink.
The little ones just taking it all in.
And just so you know, they're going to spend the entire weekend programming retro Pride anthems.
What's a retro Pride anthem for you?
I Am What I Am.
A little Donna Summers, maybe?
Oh, anything by Donna Summers.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Retro Pride anthems. I'm ready for that.
Here are the Edmonton Players in Gear. Now, this organization is all about creating a safe space for people that are into the leather community.
And other fetish gear.
And other fetish
gear. So whatever floats your boat, they got it.
Leather, rubber, lace.
Leather, rubber, that sounds painful.
Yeah, totally. Now we have the Fruit Loop. I know nothing about the Fruit Loop.
You know,
With a name like that, how do I not know more?
They're very popular here in Edmonton, and they actually organize LGBTQ events in the city. There's monthly events put on by the Fruit Loop, and a lot of them are in partnership with the Yellowhead Brewery. So Fruit Loop is a really near and dear organization to the Edmonton YEG community. Fruit Loop, and I love the name. Who needs cereal when you have the Fruit Loop community instead? We got a little bit of a band.
This is the Naked Cyber Cafe, I believe.
Rocking out. Who needs the radio when you got a saxophone? The Naked Cyber. Now this is interesting. The Naked Cyber Cafe.
Does that mean you actually are naked while you're using the Cyber Cafe?
Whilst interneting, I'm not sure.
Whilst interneting. That's something I normally do at home.
You could multitask, perhaps.
Oh, and here, of course, we have the Oil City Roller Derby.
Yes. Who does it? The roller derby and the Oil City gals are out on their old school blades. Those aren't even blades. Those are just wheels and sneakers.
Did you ever watch the roller derby when you were a little girl?
Honest to God, I haven't.
Oh my God, when I was a kid, it was all the rage. We loved it. We loved it. I remember Skinny Minnie Miller.
It's so retro,
Skinny
right?
Minnie Miller was the one you had to watch out for.
Oh,
she could take
we
out
got
anybody.
some planking
we're going to
happening.
get some stunts. We're going to get some roller derby
There
stunts.
it is.
Oh! It's all fun till someone
What a
loses
bunch
an
of
eyelash.
talented gals getting their workout in while they participate in the Pride Parade. The Eville Roller Derby League, and they have very diverse backgrounds and diverse lifestyles. And roller derby is very much a part about being inclusive and supporting the Pride Parade. And it's always been something in their league that they've been excited to get involved in. And this is their 5th year. They've been involved in the parade for a few years now and are very happy to be a part of the 35th anniversary.
And of course, we have the EMS, the Emergent Alberta Health Services is coming up.
Alberta Health Services, and this is their 5th year. 2 to 5 years they've been participating in the parade, and their values are all about diversity and supporting the community, the LGBTQ community. Their values also include respect, and that is what drives and unite them. So lots of warm, inviting, comforting messages coming from the EMS here.
Alberta Health Services has a number of policies which ensure to provide health quality for all Albertans.
And human resources employ workplace diversity strategies, which is so vital in today's day and age to be able to include everybody and of every background and minority.
Absolutely. There was a time when if a trans person went to the hospital, they couldn't actually be guaranteed that they would be given equal service to someone who wasn't trans or someone who was gay when they were first dealing with the HIV crisis in the 80s. Very important to see that inclusion and diversity is actually embraced by all of the medical community now. But again, those are things that hard-won battles by the community.
Absolutely. The sirens are going full tilt now. And I mean, if you got them, you might as well use them.
I wish I had one right now.
You got the paramedic vans out. Well, let's hear their sirens.
It's like if you got a bubble machine, you're gonna blow bubbles.
Absolutely. Bubbles, flags, glitter, it's all here today on Whyte Avenue for the 35th anniversary Pride Parade.
And here, of course,
they got the whole bus.
Wow, they brought all their gear today.
I didn't realize they even had a bus. This is very impressive. I mean, if you have a bus, you're already ready to go. You're halfway there. Your float's kind of ready-made.
There's my dear friend Marnie.
And Marnie is actually...
Marnie Panis.
You know her well.
I know her well, and she is, believe it or not, a former Empress of Edmonton, but now she's one of the most eloquent and brilliant trans spokespeople for the trans community in Edmonton. Really exciting. And
I
believe we're going to actually get an interview with Marnie Panis. Excellent. Let's find out what this is about. Take it away, Dana.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Marnie Panis with Alberta Health Services, and you are representing the transgendered community today.
Transgender community. I'm representing Alberta Health Services, our employer, this great community of Edmonton, and this is fantastic, fantastic day.
Wonderful, and I love the prom dress, sachet. Where did you get this outfit?
I'm sorry, West Edmonton Mall. I don't even remember. That was a while ago.
How do you think? How would you compare Edmonton Pride today to say 10 years ago in the community?
Oh, it's clearly you can just see that thousands of more people. This city is ready and embracing diversity and acceptance and just really community, and I just love it. It's just been such a growth in this city. I should be very proud. Everybody should be proud.
Marnie, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of Pride.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
You know, I must say, if you want to have people flock around you, you just have to dress in drag. You guys have it all figured out.
Well, now Marnie's trans, so it doesn't count as drag anymore.
Oh, you're right.
Marnie has transitioned. Yeah.
Fully transitioned.
Marnie is a brilliant spokesperson for that community too. It's really quite amazing. In her past, She actually ran for the title of Empress, which up until that point had only ever been held by drag queens. And she's the first transgender Empress of Edmonton a few years ago.
That goes to show you just how inclusive the community continues to be.
These must be the swimmer boys.
This is a mouthful. It's the International Gay and Lesbian Aquatic. I don't know if it's the team.
Making Waves Swim Club.
Oh,
there we go.
Look at me. I got ahead of myself. But they're all in the pool. They're all splashing about. So that's fine. Making Waves Swim Club. They believe that the parade is a way to show all Edmontonians the diversity and strength of the gay population in the city, the LGBTQ population in the city.
Absolutely. Now, they like to actually create a situation where gays and lesbians and their friends in the aquatic sports of swimming and water polo. What the heck is that?
That's baby Barbie, the kid in behind, just trying to get some candy out.
I want some candy, too.
Yes, where's our rainbow candy that we were promised? I thought this was going to be here by now. But yes, the Making Waves Swim Club, they have over 40 members, and they're very open and welcoming to anybody who wants to get involved in the pool. I myself can't swim for the life of me, but kudos to them. The Alberta Association.
That's the Alberta Federation of Labor.
Alberta Federation of Labor. Another representative of the workforce here in Alberta, and they believe that all members of society deserve the right to be treated equally, regardless of sexual preference, and their organization walks proudly with anyone in the event. So 6 to 10 years for the Alberta Federation of Labor. That's a lot of years to be participating, so kudos to you guys.
And here we have the old Strathcona.
We're in your hood, guys.
Hang
Coming
on.
in behind.
Waiting to see the banner.
The Alberta Union of Provincial
The old Strathcona
Employees.
Business Foundation.
The old Strathcona. Now, this is a very vibrant neighborhood regardless. And now with the Pride Parade here today, this is actually where it first started back in 1980.
Absolutely. And this is also the chunk of Edmonton that's responsible for the Fringe and a lot of the really amazing cultural stuff that has happened in Edmonton has started in old Strathcona.
Very
Did you know that it used to be a different city? It wasn't part of Edmonton.
Yeah, they were trying to like have some sort of rebellion going on
No,
here.
they were opposite side of the river. They were different towns. Edmonton annexed Old Strathcona at one point.
That river separates Edmonton, but we like to bring everyone back together here. And the Edmonton Public Library is actually coming up behind them. And their EPL sign is always colorful. They almost have a full rainbow going on there for the EPL.
Absolutely. The Edmonton Public Library, of course, besides just providing library services for Edmonton's community, they're also involved in creating writer-in-residence positions every year so that a brand new playwright or a writer can actually work with youth and with amateur writers so that they can start their career or get some advice from professional writers. It's beautiful stuff.
Lots of support from the EPL. Like you said, there's different resources that they have in-house, and I'm sure if you need to seek out community support, you can go to the EPL and find any sort of resource you need.
That loud car you hear is obviously the El Cortez Tequila Bar and Kitchen.
Up, baby. El Cortez. Little tequila love. He's going to do some. All right. Muscle man going here.
Okay, muscle car, muscle man. I'm having flashbacks to Main Street Rocky Mountain House, frankly. I'm not sure.
You gotta love that. I think he just hopped up there for fun. I'm not even sure.
I'm not even sure he was with the flow.
He just had to get in there, you know. That car spoke to him.
You know,
so.
when you can do a push-up, you do a push. It's like the bubble machine we were talking about earlier.
That definitely is a beautiful car for El Cortez. And, you know, I am such a huge fan of the fire department. You got to love seeing the fire truck come on down the parade route here. Yeehaw, check that out. Lights are flashing. I wonder if they're going to hose down some people here.
I know it's getting pretty hot down
here. I think they would blow off the streets if they opened up that hose, so maybe they'll hold back the Edmonton Fire Department making their way down Whyte Ave. I'm sure all the little kids are loving to see the firefighters out here today. The overview jib shot of the fire truck.
Excellent.
Now, with the little flakes to
next
boot.
we have McEwen, the McEwen students. Now,
Another
of course, Grant McEwen University. This is between 2 and 5. Oh, wait, before we have the Grant McEwen students, we have Living Queer.
It's time for a selfie. Take the selfie when you can. That a boy. The floats are just jumping everywhere. I mean, there's so many. This is MacEwan University, another education support system for MacEwan University here in town,
And
downtown
before
Edmonton.
we were looking at the Inquiry Student Group, which is part of the MacEwan Diversity Program. They continue to increase support for both groups and want MacEwan University to be seen as a diverse, supportive, inclusive institution.
So important to have those support resources in universities.
Well,
especially, you're still young when you're a university student.
Well, and let me
most
tell you,
times.
I've actually been speaking on gender and sexuality and drag at Grant MacEwan University for since my book came out, so almost 20 years now. They've been having me in 5 times a year to talk about the classes.
And tell us a little bit about your book, Darren. I mean, this is quite the book that you have written here.
Well, in 1996, inspired by, moved by the fact that I was writing eulogies for a lot of people that were passing away of AIDS, I ended up realizing that the community was starting to disappear, the drag community, and so I wrote a book that was published in 1996 called The Edmonton Queen, and since then it's become not required learning, but it's become very part of syllabus of many universities, and Grant MacEwan has brought me in ever since then to talk about my experiences as a drag queen, to sort of demystify that whole world for people that have never come into contact with it before.
And if people want to find this book, because it's such a solid read, if you want a taste of the history here of especially the drag scene.
It'll tell you a lot about Edmonton, I'll tell you that.
Edmonton, indeed.
Oh, and look, Starbucks, of course. You can't have a Pride event without the Starbucks people being here.
Well, the more espresso you have in you, the more you can dance your way through here. I mean, it's hard to keep up with these people. They're ready to go.
I like the chocolate-covered espresso beans. That really gets me going. I'll tell ya.
Little Rainbow Pirates, and of course, the back of the wagon. Got the dolphins in there. Those are pretty cool. Coming up behind Starbucks with the flags is Virgin Radio, I'm assuming. I'm not sure.
Virgin Radio, thank you.
There they
That
are.
shows how much radio we listen to.
Oh, here comes the Virgins on the radio.
Finally, exactly.
And Timberlake is making his cutout cardboard appearance here.
We should have that down on the street so that people can have their picture taken with Justin Timberlake at Pride.
Exactly, have it floating around the crowd.
You can have Justin Trudeau and Justin Timberlake next to each other.
Oh.
Edmonton Vocal Minority, of course, is an all-inclusive LGBTQ choir here in town. I've worked with them many times.
Okay.
And in fact, there's something called the Unison Festival. Every 4 years, all the gay and lesbian choirs from all over Canada meet in a new city and do a whole weekend of choral music.
Well,
It's
you're going to
an
have to give us
amazing
a little taste of your choir songs here. No, I'm just kidding.
I just talk. I just introduce the songs.
Oh.
I let the singers do the singing.
Here I was hoping we were going to have a musical interlude
But
with Darren.
they will actually be closing the Pride Festival with a concert on the 14th, so keep an eye open for that.
Keep an eye open. And of course, all the Pride events going on week-long here as the kickoff happens with the parade here today. If you want to see pictures from the parade, check out Shaw TV on Facebook. We have a parade album going on. You can tag yourself in there. And head on over to our Twitter page. It's at Shaw TV EDM.
And if you just can't get enough queer history, make sure you head down to the Edmonton Art Gallery, or the Alberta Art Gallery, I mean.
There
Art
you
Gallery
go.
of Alberta.
The Art Gallery of Alberta is
where you can actually see
very
the
important
Queer
place.
History Project, which they've been working on for months, and created an exhibit where you can see some of the beautiful archival material of the Edmonton queer community.
Yes, the Queer History Project has been over a year in the making.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello.
Travel through time, the Art Gallery of Alberta with the Queer History Project. And it looks like there was a bit of a
the crowd's going crazy here. Does that mean the parade's over?
They're flooding the streets.
Oh wait, we got another banner coming up here.
The short shorts are in full bloom.
An amazing day for an amazing parade today. Remember last year we got rained out at the end, just the last sort of 5 minutes. It was exciting, but it's nice to see us finish in the sunlight this
There's
time.
been no rumble in the sky yet, so hopefully that continues. Coming up behind us here we have Next Gen, the police boys with their badges, centerfolds on their chests. Now this is quite the look. Getting their tan on while they march down.
Edmonton's Next Gen. It has been in existence since 2006. It's part of the City of Edmonton and recognizes the true value of diversity across communities, departments, and branches. It acts as a platform for diverse communities to promote events throughout the newsletter, bring issues to the community meetings, and present our Picha Kucha nights. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's the mystery evening. You'll have to go to learn more. So if you're brave, venture down for the Picha Kucha night.
I just like saying that.
I just like saying that too. Just Picha Kucha. Okay, rainbow onesie. That baby's awesome.
A rainbow onesie. Isn't that the name of your punk band?
Yeah.
Oh, we have the gay rodeo now every year.
Yeehaw.
The Alberta
Ride a
Rockies
cowboy.
Gay Rodeo Association. Oh, this is awesome. I actually get to see the gay rodeo for my first time.
And how was
next month.
that?
No, it's
Life-changing?
coming up. It's
Oh.
coming up. I'll be doing a TV shoot about it. Now, of course, it's held in Strathmore, and I think they're 20 years in now. They've been doing it, and it's become the Alberta Rockies Gay Rodeo Association has become sort of the jewel in the crown. If you're doing the sort of the gay rodeo circuit, it's the big one in Canada.
Well, when you
Might
think
even be the
about
only one in
rodeo,
Canada.
you would never associate it usually with there's an Alberta Rockies Gay Rodeo Association.
Yeah,
Which is so popular.
People come from all over North America for it. I would say, a bit of hubris, it might be rivaling the Calgary Stampede in terms of its impact.
I agree with you there, definitely. Of course, the gay rodeo is going into its 21st rodeo. That's
Amazing.
21 years of rodeo.
And I get to see it for my first time this year. I'm so excited.
That's definitely going to be a celebration indeed.
I hear the village people are going to be there this year.
YMCA?
Yeah, the village people. Now, Foreskin Pride.
Okay.
There's something that I never thought I would see here at the Gay Pride Parade.
Foreskin Pride. There
Now,
they are,
this
loud
is an
and proud.
anti-circumcision organization. It doesn't have to do with whether you're gay, straight, bisexual. It's all about leaving children, humans, intact. So they're against male circumcision and female circumcision of any kind, and allowing people to make their own choice about their body autonomy. Now we got some serious iron pumping happening on here.
This is the CrossFit gym. The craze is taking over.
Aradia Fitness.
Aradia Fitness, rather. She's, no big deal. Just doing a little press there.
Jeez.
There it is.
How
Squat it
hard
down.
is that to do on a moving platform?
I'm going to say very challenging, but she's making it look easy, of course.
And as fit as the boys look, they're kind of being slackers and letting her do all the hard work.
Just getting her workout on. Inspiring a little fitness here in the Pride Parade here today.
Oh, now we're getting a
They're
little
very
gymnast
nimble
action going.
athletes.
Excellent.
So, you're moving on a vehicle and you're also putting on a gymnast show. So, yeah.
There you go.
I must say,
Well, and
they are ready.
This is the Pole Fitness Organization.
A lot of core strength happening here as they take in the parade from their poles.
And
The poles
apparently
are on.
they're opening it up to men now. It used to be something that was mostly for women to do, but pole dancing is not just for women anymore.
I'm sure the men will have a fun time trying to learn that art.
My abs and other parts are hurting just thinking about it, actually.
Just getting your pole crunches in on the daily here, I'm sure. Up to the top.
There
up
we
to
have
the
a man on the
top.
pole. Look at that.
They offer pole fitness classes. They're actually a new entry, Aradia Fitness, this year. And last year they integrated, like you said, the men's classes. So they'd love to see more of the LGBTQ community participating in poles.
Here we have the Buddies float. Buddies, of course, is the longest
They're a
reigning
staple,
gay bar
a
in
staple.
Edmonton now. Part of what I like to call the second wave of gay bars in Edmonton.
And what
Buddies
do you
has been
mean
around.
by the second wave exactly?
Well, the first wave would have been Boots and Saddles Flashback and The Roost, but they are all closed now. They're all gone now. So Buddies is the longest reigning gay bar. It opened up, I'm not sure of the actual year, but they've been sort of the main draw in Edmonton for a long time now.
And they're right down on Jasper Ave.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have
It's
their rainbows
Buddies
up there all the
downstairs
time.
and Woody's upstairs is their
Yeah.
lounge upstairs. Absolutely. Oh, we still have stuff coming down the street. Look at that.
As you can see,
It's the parade that
the
never
crowd's
ends.
beginning to venture down the street to the finishing point
Or
here.
the crowd is just becoming a part of the parade. I'm not sure what's happening.
It's probably hard not to. I mean, they just want to join, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I think we forgot our street reporters.
Oh, we've been talking so much.
Oh,
We should
my
check
heavens.
make sure they haven't been swept away by fitness freaks or something like that.
Let's hear from Dana and Vanity.
Thanks, guys. It's been such a great time here on Street Level today.
Such an amazing day.
Vanity, you got to talk to Justin, and I was so jealous. How was that?
He's kind of cute up close, I have to say. Not gonna lie.
What an incredible pride. The energy just continues and continues. There's still people walking the streets behind us. The floats don't seem to stop, but I think overall it's been such a fantastic year and bigger than ever before.
I think hands down this is the best Pride Parade I have ever been to in Edmonton. So well done on our 35th anniversary.
Well done to both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, too
Full
many
hands,
jewels.
sorry.
and Alexa and Darren, back to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching 35 years of Pride here in Edmonton. I've been Alexa McLean alongside of Darren Hagen, and what a
thanks
blast.
for joining us. Wow, I've never seen a parade like that in a long time, I have to say, and it shows you how far the Edmonton theater community, or the queer community has come.
Absolutely, and don't forget, if you weren't here today, you can watch the parade all week on Shaw TV. Happy Pride, everyone. Thanks for joining us.